Time for high school football. KMIR News. Friday Night Lights. Brought to you by General Air Conditioning.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights, your complete wrap of all the high school football games here in the Coachella Valley. 11 games on tap tonight, so let's get right to it. Julie Bueller kicks off our Friday Night Lights team coverage. Julie.
Hi, Gino. That's right. We'll start at Paris at Shadow Hills High School because 2 weeks ago they were supposed to host Paris for their home opener, but that didn't get done because of the heat. So tonight, a couple local men decided they wanted to make sure that the real home opener was special for more than one way. And they did just that. It was a home opener for the Knights, and it started with a somber remembrance of 9/11, a pivotal event in our nation's history that some of the current Knights weren't even born to remember. But a group of boosters, 50-some men from Sun City Shadow Hills, known as the Knights of Round Table, not only do they spend their year raising money for scholarships for the Knights, but they also put together a tribute to 9/11, the victims, and they hosted a moment of silence for those lost. And then the game kicked off, and it was a back-and-forth game. Both teams 0-2 coming into this game. One had to emerge victorious, and they were tied most of the game except for the moment that mattered the most at the end. Brawley won it on a last-second 59-yard field goal. An amazing game, an absolute heartbreaking loss for Shadow Hills. But I'll tell you what, this is what non-league play is for, to get ready for league action. And let's move on up the 10 freeway now because the Knights' opponent last week, Palm Desert High School, it's our featured game this week as they hosted Norta Vista and the Braves. Now, the Braves boast a running back, Freddie Hawley. He is reportedly committed to Arizona State University. Last year, he rushed for 31 touchdowns, and he's not slowing down this year. The Braves ran nearly the entire game, as in every single play, and they just wore down the Aztecs' defense. And it was missing star Will Elmet to begin with. The first half was close, but the Braves ran away with the win, 36-18 final here at Palm Desert. And then in Desert Hot Springs, once again up the 10 freeway, before the season began, Coach Will Attell told me this might be his most athletic bunch he's ever coached. And when they began the season with 2 wins over DVL teams, he was looking more and more correct. And then tonight, homecoming night, the stands were packed, Banning's in town, and his team moved to 3-0 behind an incredibly exciting overtime win. Alex Moreno with the winning touchdown catch to seal the deal for the Golden Eagles. Final score there, 20-14, and again, overtime. Gino, what an incredible night. And up next, we've got 3 Valley teams that started 0-2 but got their first wins of the season next.
All right, Julie, thank you for that. Let's continue our team coverage. Let's go to a sports reporter, Bridget Case, in the newsroom with more. Bridget.
Yeah, that's right, Gino. We had some more exciting non-conference play this week in both the D'Anza League and the DVL. We start with Rancho Mirage, a team hoping to preserve their perfect record. They traveled to Rubidoux to face the Falcons in non-conference matchup last night. The Rattlers kept a close pace, only down 7-0 at the half. But they weren't quite able to pull through, losing for the first time this season, 14-7. They head into week 4 with a 2-1 record. And another Thursday night showdown for this week, La Quinta took on the Heritage Patriots at home. This was tough competition for the Blackhawks as the Patriots have won 62 of their last 69 games since 2010. The Patriots kept a consistent lead over the Blackhawks despite a failed fake punt play and a lost fumble. They controlled the game through the half, up 20-3, but La Quinta fought back, shortening that lead to 27-13 by the third quarter. And it wasn't that night for the Blackhawks. Heritage wins it 36-14. La Quinta is now 0-3 on the season, and they'll play St. Bonnie next week. Half-hour delay out in Thermal tonight where Desert Mirage faced off against the Holtville High School. A Holtville player was injured with the Rams leading 26-21 and 3 minutes left in the game. The player was lifted into an ambulance to be taken to a hospital. Despite that scare, a close back-and-forth contest, Desert Mirage finishes with a 26-21 victory, and they will play Coachella Valley next week. And that's a look at your local scoreboard. Up next, we recap more of the biggest Valley games. Gino?
Thank you, Bridget. Coming up next on Friday Night Lights, defending CIF champ Palm Springs High on the road tonight. We've got your highlights, plus shocking video from a high school football game in Texas. Former NFL head coach Jim Mora reacts.
Tougher than ever to be a Foster Farms chicken. The Foster Farms Simply Raised Chicken is 100% natural with no antibiotics.
Do I look natural, Herb Man? Can I call you Herb Man? I'm trying to look natural. Say something. Why aren't you guys saying anything?
Simply Raised Chicken with no antibiotics from Foster Farms.
Going away for the summer or staying, enjoying the calmness of our valley? Desert Alarm is here for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Chris Medane. Just in case you missed our last special, it is back again for a limited time. Get a wireless security system package installed for a special low price of $195. That's a savings over $700. Get yours today and we will have it installed for you tomorrow. 322-1562.
For low-cost legal document preparation, including living trusts, wills, divorce, and incorporations, it's Legal Docs by me, powered by the founders of We the People. Fast, accurate document preparation.
Legal Docs by me. No lawyers, save money.
Begin your French adventure at Le Pont. From our wide selection of classic appetizers, followed by one of Le Pont's creative and unique entrees. And if that's not enough, our desserts will amaze you, featuring Le Pont's famous soufflé. Every dish expertly prepared for you by our famous chef, Eddie Babai.
Come and visit us. I would love to cook for you.
Le Pont, a little bit of France on El Paseo.
Hi, I'm attorney Barry Rieger. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, you're probably wondering, what do you do? How do you handle those insurance adjusters? They're unreasonable, they're rude, you've got medical bills, you're out of work. You need to know your legal rights. Call me. There's no charge for the consultation. After we speak, you'll understand your legal rights and how I can help you. Give me a call, you have nothing to lose.
Attorney Barry Rieger. Experience you can trust.
Hey, Foster Farms, looks like you left these two West Coast birds behind.
Foster Farms chicken's California grown. You guys aren't from here.
Well, do we get points for trying?
Fresh and natural chicken, California grown with no added hormones from Foster Farms. Simply better.
Tonight, Fallon has Donald Trump.
It's gonna be huge.
Plus Terrence Howard, thank you notes, and an epic performance from the voices Pharrell Williams. And Seth has Andy Samberg. New Tonight Show, then late night. NBC Tonight.
Well, we've got more local high school football highlights coming up in just a minute, but first we want to show you a game last week in Texas where two Texas high school football players brutally attacked a referee during the game. Now, the attack by the unidentified John Jay High School players led to the team's assistant football coach being placed on leave. Police said the students targeted and blindsided Robert Watts, a 14-year veteran referee, and could be facing criminal charges for their actions. We spoke with former NFL head coach Jim Mora and got his thoughts on the attack.
First time I saw it on TV, I could not believe it. And I mean, it was intentional, it was planned, there was nothing accidental about it. The one guy clobbers him in the back, and then the second guy, this I thought was where he comes and he spears the official. I mean, that's, you can hurt a guy bad. I don't know how bad they hurt him, but I mean, you could hurt him real bad. I mean, the spearing especially, or the back. The guy standing there not expecting anything. I mean, he wasn't prepared to defend himself, and these two guys nail him. I thought it was horrible, absolutely horrible. One of the worst things I've ever seen in a high school football game.
Those two guys are on your team. What happens?
They're gone. Phew, they're gone. They're gone. No, I mean, gone. Gone. Yeah.
That's right, Coach. Gone. Bridget Case has more highlights and scores for us now. She's in the newsroom with Palm Springs on the road. Bridget.
Yeah, your 2014 CIF champs traveled to Lake Elsinore tonight, and they had a lot to prove as they prepare for next week's game against one of the only two teams that beat them last season. But tonight, the Indians dominated the Temescal Canyon Titans, keeping them scoreless until under a minute left in the first half. The Titans rushed 7 yards to get on the board, and trailing the Indians 26-8, Palm Springs leaves them in the dust, scoring twice again in the second half with a 10-yard pass into the end zone and another 5-yard rushing touchdown to win it. Of course, it's another successful blowout for the Indians. They win big, 40-8, and they keep that flawless 3-0 record as they head into next week's much-anticipated matchup against Murrieta Mesa. Cathedral City faced a tough Vista Del Lago offense last night. The Lions controlled the ball the entire first quarter, jumping to an early 3-0 lead on a 43-yard field goal, but that wouldn't last. With just 3 seconds left in the first half, the Ravens go up on the Lions 14-10, and Cathedral City couldn't quite get their momentum back in the second half. Vista Del Lago takes this one 37-10. For Friday Night Lights, I'm Bridget Case, KMIR News.
All right, thank you, Bridget. Three Valley teams that had been struggling in the early season earned their first wins of the year tonight. Let's head out to Coachella. Actually, let's head back to Palm Desert. The very latest from Julie Bueller. Hey, Julie.
Hi, Gino. That's right. I'm up here, buddy, at Palm Desert High School. But I'll tell you what, you're right. Three teams that have been struggling finally got in the win column today. And I'll take you out to Coachella Valley, where Arab fans were in full force. And it was a good thing because El Centro was in town and their team got a big win. With the Arabs didn't waste any time getting on the scoreboard. They had a 24-0 lead after the first quarter. In fact, the final buzzer sounded from that first quarter and the Arabs scored on a return at the end of the frame. They wouldn't let up. They cruised to that all-important first win. 34-14 was the final over El Centro. And then the Indio Rajos hosted Yucca Valley tonight, and we'll start with a quiet moment on the field. While a Yucca player was down and required medical attention, an ambulance ride and was taken to the hospital. But Indio Athletic Director Ovidio Machado told KMIR that the athlete suffered a knee injury and is still being further evaluated, but it is somewhat comforting to know it's a knee injury and nothing more serious. Once play resumed, though, the Rajas, a program that had been struggling the past few years, suffered 2 early season losses, enjoyed a commanding lead all game, put up 10 points in the first quarter, and didn't allow Yucca to score through 3 quarters. The final there, 29-6. And then Xavier Prep suffered 2 home losses to start the season, and tonight was their first road game, and with it came their first win. I'll tell you what, this was an exciting game. Not a lot of scoring through most of the game, but once the final 4 minutes happened, Aquinas scored, Xavier followed with another score, and finally won. A 75-yard touchdown pass from Michael Johnson was the deciding score for the Saints. Final there, 17-13. The Saints again with their first victory. So it was good to see some teams get their first win of the season. Gino, back to you in the studio.
All right, that's going to do it for Friday Night Lights.